It's just amazing how many people on the Diddy party list that are supporting Kamala. Too.
Yeah, seriously, it's like insane.
Publicly, openly, like all in.
Yes. It's like J-Lo like was like his ex-girlfriend, and it's like now deciding she's like warning people against Trump. I'm like, well, wait a second. So how many people did she warn against Diddy?
Right.
Oh, 0. Okay. Right. Well, maybe we shouldn't trust her opinion.
Between Diddy and Epstein, there's probably several thousand hours of footage here.
Yeah.
Y'all remember when Elon Musk floated that little hint, like Diddy's relationships weren't as clean as they looked, and everybody just shrugged and kept scrolling. Now there's talk of a leaked list making the rounds, and the industry went quiet, like the same alarm went off in 1,000 rooms at once. And the first name that keeps getting circled is Kim Porter, not some random associate, but the person closest to Diddy for years. Longtime partner, mother of his kids, full access, not secondhand stories. That's why her name won't leave the air. Because when you're that close, you don't just catch headlines. You learn the blueprint, the business moves, the back rooms, the parties, the escorts, the repeat behavior, the way the engine stays. And it's also why the streets never fully bought the official version. The public got pneumonia. Simple, clean, case closed. But anybody who's been watching for years will tell you it never sat right. The same sentence keeps echoing. Something about that doesn't add up. Because Kim didn't look like someone fading out. She was active, moving, living like she had plans. Then suddenly, gone. No long decline, no drawn-out warning, just gone. That's where Jaguar Wright got loud and stayed loud. She's claimed Kim allegedly knew too much, had a book in motion, and was getting ready to speak. Not for gossip, but to put truth on the table.
Died from pneumonia, but there's the first coroner's report that said it was ruled a homicide, and they found toxins in her body to prove that she had been poisoned. You know, they have poisons that create heart attack and pneumonia-like symptoms.
If your ears stay close to the pavement, you already know Jaguar doesn't fold. She's even dared heavyweight names to take her to court if she's lying. That kind of boldness changes the room.
Sue me! Stop coming after outlets. Stop coming after reporters. Stop coming after platforms. You got my number. Call me. Please, sue me. I want to go to court. And when it's time for discovery, I guess we can all find out what I really...
Folks who used to laugh start listening, because that level of confidence makes you wonder what she thinks she has. And if Kim really was gearing up to expose what she saw behind closed doors, that wouldn't just make her a problem for one man. That would make her a threat to an entire ecosystem built on silence. Now pivot to another name with history that's already on record, Jennifer Lopez. People act like J-Lo was just around back then, but she was right beside Diddy during one of the biggest turning points attached to his name, the 1999 nightclub shooting. That night wasn't just chaos, it was a line in the sand. A woman got shot. Shine took the fall and did time. And Jennifer, she walked away clean. Here's the detail people keep pulling back into the light. The woman who got shot later said she saw Diddy pull the trigger, not Shine.
Said since really right after the that it was P. Diddy who you.
I was standing by the front door. I watched the entire thing out. I had no reason to believe that it would escalate to a It was just male machismo and bravado at first.
When I was a 18-year-old kid, just wanting to do nothing other than make my mother proud and make Belize proud and do what all of us want to do, be recognized for our talent and take over the world. I was defending him, and he turned around and called witnesses to testify against me, and he contributed. He pretty much sent me to prison. So that is the context by which you must always describe that relationship. Yeah.
On top of that, you've had years of rumors that Jennifer allegedly handed the weapon back to Diddy after it happened. She didn't just hear about it, she testified. That's not distant association, that's being inside the storm while it's happening.
Testified at the grand jury, as did many other people. It needs to be reopened, because if that is in fact the case, she carried the gun in and she lied to the grand.
Fast forward to now, with everything else being talked about around Diddy's lifestyle, and the questions people use to dodge start hitting different. How much did Jennifer actually witness back then? What did those parties really look like from the inside? How reckless was it behind the velvet rope? And if she saw something foul, why did she never say a word? Not then, not later. Even Elon Musk took a public shot in her direction, basically implying, you dated him, you had proximity, and you stayed quiet when it mattered. That one comment reopened old wounds people thought were buried for good. Then you get to Cassie, and this is where the conversation stops being just internet talk and starts touching paperwork. Cassie didn't just hint, she filed a lawsuit. She put allegations in court. Years of control, coercion, and being pushed into situations she says she didn't want. She framed it like a structure, not a messy relationship. A setup where power, fear, and silence kept everything running like a business.
Katrina, good morning to you. I understand you were inside the courtroom during Ventura's testimony. The transcripts are just horrific. How did she hold up?
Errol, she broke down on the stand yesterday as she was testifying, and that was one of the most striking moments of the day when she was moved to tears as she was giving, as you said, this very graphic and pornographic testimony. The moment when she broke down was as she was talking about how angry he would get with her sometimes, but also when she was asked about whether or not she enjoyed these, they were called freak-offs, the sexual encounters that she engaged in with him.
People remember those leaked messages that circulated, like when she told Diddy the freak-off situations made her feel dirty and grimy.
She said that after that first freak-off, she said she felt dirty. She didn't want to do.
Later, multiple male escorts came forward and backed parts of her narrative. That's what shook people, because it wasn't only Cassie talking anymore.
It's a strange dynamic to have Cassie be as visually like stunning and is, and then you know, a part of you is like, I really want to go in and do this, but then the other part of you is like, this mother in the corner over here dictating how to do this and how to do that is like really like pulling me in the opposite direction. So you take that and then you add another guy to the mix, and it just gets real strange, man, especially once he becomes like active and you fall off and you just sitting there watching like, yo, like it's just weird, bro. I don't know how else to explain that, man. It is weird.
I mentioned that he was a voyeur during this encounters. You were involved with Cassie Ventura directly in those rooms, as you've testified. Were you ever involved with Sean Diddy Combs? Did you two ever have an interaction in those encounters?
No, actually, not one conversation, not even eye contact.
Really?
Yeah.
Did that surprise you?
Well, it was told to me immediately, like on the first encounter, that I was instructed to not look at him, not acknowledge him, not have any interactions with.
By Cassie?
Yeah, by Cassie. So those were the instructions.
Outsiders started confirming pieces of the pattern. But here's where the street convo gets tricky. Some believe Cassie knows more than she's ever said publicly, that she was inside long enough to see how the whole operation worked. And while she eventually spoke, there are whispers she may have also helped facilitate certain things early on. Not because she wanted to, but because survival changes how you move. Fear, conditioning, pressure, keep it a buck. That's how toxic power structures operate. And yes, it's been widely reported that Diddy settled Cassie's lawsuit for around $20 million, reportedly. That doesn't erase anything she says she lived through, but it does raise one question. How deep does it go, and how much money does it take to keep the story from getting wider? After that, the spotlight swings to Young Miami, another name tied to him. And in this saga, she became the face of loyalty while everything was falling apart. While lawsuits stacked up, clips leaked, and public opinion flipped overnight, she didn't step back. She doubled down. 10 toes. She even wrote a letter to the judge ahead of sentencing, describing him as a good man, loving, supportive, changed, saying he was in therapy working on his anger. But the internet didn't buy it.
So she talks about in those years how they were in a public relationship. And she says she came to know a completely different person. She says that Diddy motivated her. He believed in her. He helped her grow both professionally and personally. And she says that she's writing this letter because she believes it's important to the court to know the side of Diddy that isn't always seen or spoken.
People started saying it looked less like love and more like dependence. Private jets, trips, designer bags, a lifestyle that costs real money. Then another detail started raising eyebrows. Claims she was allegedly present at some of those infamous parties. Cassie described the same white nail polish, the same inner circle vibe. And that's when the tone went darker. Because once a ship starts sinking, anyone still defending the captain can get dragged under too. And that leads to Paris Hilton. No, it wasn't some deep romantic relationship, but she was close in that same party universe. People love to rewrite history like Paris was just popping in for vibes and dipping early. But the receipts people point to suggest she was front and center at the big moments. White parties, birthday bashes, private events, and she praised them publicly. Remember that 2017 post where she called his party unforgettable and said he had a heart of gold? Yeah, that didn't age well. Not even a little. Now that insiders are starting to describe what really went down at those events, the question nobody wanted to touch for years is back on the table. Did Paris just dance and dip? Or did she see things that should have made anyone step back? Because when somebody that visible stays silent, it doesn't read neutral. It reads protective. It reads like someone guarding a door. That brings us to Ellen DeGeneres. And this is where things start feeling uneasy.
The best party I've ever been to was at Blank's house.
Puffy's 50th birthday. It was so sick.
Yeah.
Epic.
All right, next one.
Once the Diddy scandal started heating up, people noticed Ellen went ghost. Packed up, left the country, moved to England. The public story was politics, stress, wanting peace, wanting a reset. But in street talk, the word wasn't peace, the word was panic. Because Ellen and Diddy weren't strangers. He was a regular on her show. They joked about his parties like it was harmless fun.
Tell me about your birthday party. Am I invited?
Yes. Yes, you're definitely invited. I invite you to all my parties. You just haven't seemed to show up to
No,
any
well,
of them.
is it on the East Coast?
Yes.
Well, that's why. Why don't you have one here on the West Coast? Because I work all the time.
Okay, well, maybe I have one at your house.
Where's Now, what time would your party start, let's say?
Like 9:30.
Really? That early?
Yeah.
I could make that.
Yeah.
But I could think of you of starting a party at like midnight. Like, what time will it go till?
That's a different type of party, though.
Uh-huh.
No, it'll go from like 9:30 to like maybe 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock. And then, we have the top 2 floors of the hotel. you know.
And then it will carry on there?
Yeah. Then No, I mean the after party.
No, I know about them.
Ellen, were you surprised by the allegations about P. Diddy? Did that surprise you about P. Diddy? He's been on your show many times. Have you been to his parties?
And now those old clips hit different. The on-air nicknames, the cuddle and snuggle talk. It plays uncomfortable in hindsight. Add the online narrative, hidden tapes, powerful names, old files getting reopened, and Ellen choosing to disappear starts looking less like coincidence and more like timing. And after the death of Twitch, Steven Twitch Boss officially ruled a suicide, the internet went into overdrive. People stacked theories, connected dots, called it patterns. No proof, just speculation. And that speculation isn't evidence, it's just how the timeline gets framed online. So when you hear if names start getting called, the belief is Ellen dipped early, just to stay far from the blast radius. Now, a name that keeps resurfacing whenever Diddy and Epstein conversations collide, Naomi Campbell. People have whispered about Naomi for years, but lately the volume's been turned all the way up. Because she doesn't get painted like a guest. She gets framed like someone who knew the doors, knew the rooms, knew how to connect the right people. Street narratives claim she allegedly helped open access, introductions, opportunities, invites, private trips. The kind of stuff that looks glamorous on paper and turns ugly behind closed doors. Online, one label keeps getting thrown around, Madam Vibes. Like she plays the middle, favors, connections, leverage, money, staying protected. Because her career never really stalls, even when the heat is on, and people read that as having powerful insurance. It got darker for some because Naomi has acknowledged crossing paths with Epstein, while also saying she didn't know what he was really on.
A story like this doesn't take into account the person being interviewed. Does it then become fake news?
Well, it's pretty one-sided, and I don't want to get into that phrase, but I feel if you don't give the person the chance to speak for themselves and respond, this is a pretty established newspaper. You should give the person the right to respond to what your allegations are.
That explanation didn't land with everybody, especially with all the alleged overlap people keep pointing to. Private jets, islands, elite circles, the same high-level ecosystem. Then when Diddy's scandals started blowing up, people noticed Naomi moving quiet. Posts gone, associations wiped, anything that looked like proximity getting scrubbed. And when somebody cleans up that fast, the question becomes simple. Why? Now we're stepping into uncomfortable territory. Janice Combs. Yeah, Diddy's mother. Publicly, she's been standing by him. Court appearances, front row, loyal image. But behind that image, a darker narrative floats around in street talk. Some claim Janice didn't just raise him. They claim she shaped the way he learned power, charm, control, how to work a room, how to pull strings without looking like you're pulling strings. And those old clips don't help. The lip kissing, the matching nail polish, the IV drip video.
Hold on, let me introduce you to my mom. You call Mom Dukes.
Hi.
She's getting a drip with me. She's hydrating. What's up, Ma?
Everything's good, baby. I'm here with you.
Yeah.
I love you.
I love you too.
Stuff that looks strange when you rewatch it with today's context. People say it blurred boundaries in ways that never sat right. There are also whispers, strictly alleged, that she wasn't just aware of the freak-off culture, but close enough to understand the engine and protect it. Not as a participant, but as someone who knew how the shield worked. So the question becomes, was she just a mother defending her son, or part of the system that helped make him untouchable for so long? Now here's a name that hits different for one reason. She spoke. Then she went quiet. Gina H. Gina wasn't some random rumor. She was inside. She dated Diddy, moved in the same rooms Cassie was in, and her story came out loud, then disappeared. Here's what people can't ignore. Gina said Cassie warned her about him, not playfully, in a "this man is dangerous" way. Gina has alleged Diddy put hands on her, monitored her phone, controlled her movement, and punished her when she tried to leave.
Let's talk about the physical. If you're okay, are you okay with that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So obviously you terminated baby one because you loved him.
Mm-hmm.
How long after you guys started dating is when did the physical start?
The first time it ever happened, which was not even like that long into the relationship, because I met him in February, and then it was probably like the beginning of May, because we were at Meek's Mill's birthday.
Then suddenly, silence. No more interviews, no more posts, just gone. And Street Talk says the pressure got heavy. NDAs, legal threats, industry freeze-outs. That's when a lot of people started believing she didn't lie. She just got scared, because backing away from that world doesn't come free. Now bring up Misa Hilton. Blueprint era, yachts, islands, early empire days. Misa wasn't just around him, she was foundational. Mother of his son, Justin. One of the architects behind the bad boy image when the brand was still being built brick by brick. That's why people believe she saw the early version of the playbook. How loyalty was enforced, how charm became leverage, how power got structured before it went public. And notice this. When Cassie sued, Misa didn't jump out to defend Diddy. She supported Cassie quietly and respectfully. No theatrics, no dragging, just a move that spoke without shouting. And that kind of silence is loud. A lot of people read it as, she got out early, before the alleged freak-offs stopped being wild nights and started looking like a system. Now here's where it turns legal again. Adria English. Because Adria didn't just talk. She filed a lawsuit. She accused Diddy of sexual coercion and abuse connected to yacht parties and elite events. According to her claims, women were allegedly recruited, pressured, drugged, and moved through powerful spaces like inventory. And the scary part is how closely that allegedly lines up with the broader pattern Cassie described. Power dynamics, control structures, silence enforced through fear and money.
You know, we all have stories. Seriously, we all have stories. Mine is horrific and only 5 people know it. And I probably will never tell it. Why didn't you say something then? Because we just want to live. We want to be happy. And we really want to forget the trauma.
Adria's framing wasn't chaos. It was organized. And that brings it back to the core question the streets keep asking. If all these women were close, if they were inside, seeing different angles of the same machine, who knew what? Who stayed quiet to survive? Because the streets don't believe this was a one-man operation. They believe it was a system built over decades. Partners protected by silence, held together by power. And now that the walls are cracking, allegedly, and new tapes are being whispered about, people aren't only watching Diddy anymore. They're watching everybody who stood close enough to know better. So what do you think? Were these women victims, accomplices, survivors doing whatever it took to stay alive in a dangerous industry? And if more names start getting called, who do you think the spotlight hits next? Drop your thoughts in the comments, subscribe to Mike Trip, and click on the next video. I'll see you in the next one.